Alright, here we go. An hour left on this memory card, but as you saw in the previous video, I got to deal with this this item here, and I'm not quite sure, what was done with it. I was told people tried to take it apart and do things, and they were afraid to take the throttle cable off of it and all that stuff. But we're just going to look at it here. I'm going to give you a close-up, so if I put it in the wrong space, you can tell me, hey, that's not supposed to be there. And we got our fuel lines. Take a peek down there, you see that fuel line. That fuel line is the furthest. It comes up here. Up, 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 and it's the lower one on the carburetor. Then we got the top one. It comes down, down, twists down around, and that's the first one to go in the front part of the tank. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Kill switch wires run up through here. I'm not really worried about them because I'm pretty sure they can be disconnected inside the engine there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these bolts around here, and this shaft assembly should slide clear from this, and then we'll proceed to taking the shroud off of the engine. And these bolts, they're all the same the whole way around. That's a Torx, and hopefully we'll be back in business. Go ahead and take these screws out. Probably should take this apart because more people have been into it, but why disturb things if you don't have to? I'm hoping this is just something loose in here, but I have a funny feeling it might be stripped out. I doubt it's the flywheel because it looks alright. Well, that's awfully loose on there. But that clutch assembly on the front is way loose. So we're going to go ahead and leave it with the throttle cable. You got one here, here, here. There's one hiding down in here. And here and here. So let's do the easy ones. Bar. The gas tank is going to drop loose from the engine. Fuel tank's going to drop down, and of course this will come free. Oh Lord, somebody tried to take the engine apart. We'll take care of that. We'll clean it up. Okay, here's what we got. I skipped a few steps, but I'll go over some of the basics with you. As far as the screws, you're going to want to keep track of them. I don't have the cover and everything, but when I get the repair part, if I can find it, you're going to need a Torx. And this is the driver that I have here. There is a Torx down in the center here, right here, and that's just regular thread. That spins off, and then when you get to this this clutch, a couple things can happen. It is regular thread, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Some of the things that are going to happen when you go to take this off, or may happen, is this bolt may come loose from the flywheel, and then the clutch just spins off of that. But in order for this front nose cone to come off, you do have to remove this clutch, and there is a washer behind it, and the whole assembly lifts off, which I'll show you when I get the new parts and I go to reassemble. But I figure I'd show you the, this is the 4-stroke engine, and what I'm going to check right now, since I have the culprit in my hand, I mean, there's everything in here is springing as it should. But if you look closely at those, you can see where that's all just, it's chewed to hell and back. So this is the new part. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this back together for now. I tightened up the bolts on the crankcase, so hopefully that won't be leaking. Oh, and when you go to take this off, instead of, the old put a screwdriver in the flywheel, you take a piece of 1/4-inch rope or whatever. I put the piston at the bottom of its stroke, put about 6 inches of rope in there. You kind of feed it in there enough that when you turn this, it jams the crank enough that you can loosen it, but not so much that you snap the connecting rod. There's still a little bit of give to it, and that's basically what I did. So for right now, this is going to go back together in pieces, and I'm going to put it aside. But everything else is, it's kind of neat. I mean, that's your Briggs & Stratton 4-stroke. There's a couple little plastic pieces here that go on each side of the fuel tank. There's the back of the engine. It's a pretty big engine for a weed whacker. But like I said, 4-stroke. I've used them before. I was kind of impressed. So we'll see how this one goes.